Hello everyone. Today, I'm going to show you how to de-anamorphose or desqueeze for those who prefer the term an image taken with an amorphous lens. And I'm also going to show you a trick for manipulating all of this very easily. So here you see an image. I've chosen one for you. Okay, you see here, it's very compressed and the characters are stretched very upwards. So, naturally, what you're going to do is go to the presentation tool on the right here. But first of all, we're going to look at the properties of these images. So here, we have full fork 4096 by 2160. It's log gametes 3, so that's why the images are a bit pale. We'll see this later on other images as well. So, naturally, you'll go to the presentation tool, then to stretch. So here, we see that we're at 4680% of the original size, which is at 100%. Why? Because we have a Force 4 image in an AG project. So naturally, we can disable. Preserve the image's aspect ratio so we can stretch it along the X or Y axis. The image to restore its shape. How are we going to do that? First, we need to decide whether it's X or Y. So, the thing is, if we drag them in X, we'll extend beyond the edges of the project frame, so we'll lose information about the width. So the best thing to do is reduce the image height first. So we start from 46.8%. We reduce it. I know that the lens used to take these images was a 1/6 lens. So that means we had a strain factor of 1/6. So it's very simple. I'll take my calculator and I'll do 46.88% divided by 1/6%. This also works if you're using pixel values. You just need to take the original value and divide by 1/6%. Here, we have a value of 29.3%. Perfect. So here, we'll take 29 and use the mouse wheel. I scroll up to 3, and there you have it. Simple. However, here, if you need to crop or zoom in on your image, the slight problem you'll encounter is that as soon as you want to crop, to zoom in on the image, you'll need to recalculate the correct aspect ratio. I'm undoing what I just did. There. So from here, we have another tool in the video filters called Modifier. Modification. And this one really looks like the presentation tool. It's practically the same, so we can combine the two. So we'll place this editing tool here below. First, the presentation tool. And then, when I edit, I'll be able to change the zoom level in the image without changing the aspect ratio at all that I had set in the presentation tool. Note that in the presentation tool, if you recheck Keep Image Aspect Ratio after making your change, it would revert to the value's original RS. That's why we add the editing tool. But here, when we zoom in, we'll go beyond 100% because the editing tool is placed below the presentation tool. And that's not very good because we're going to degrade the image quality. We start at 100% zoom, but the more we zoom in beyond 100%, the more we'll be cutting into the pixels. So I'm going to delete that. I'll come back. In my little presentation, revert to the default settings. And what we're going to do is I'm going back to the very beginning. I'm putting the modifier this time. There, that's the trick. The modifier, we start by desqueezing with the modification, which we place above the presentation tool. So when we open it, since it's above, we'll tap on the image origin. So we'll tap on the source. And so Here we even find it in the modification options, our initial percentage. So we can switch to pixels if we want. But here, it's more useful to use percentages. I'm disabling it here, I think. If I remember correctly, it was 29.3. So here, I put 29,3. And there you go. It's done. And now, if I go to the presentation tool, ta-da, we always end up with an image below 100%. So here, we can zoom in as much as we want. So we have a first tool that does the desqueeze, the de-anamorphosis, and the presentation tool that will allow you to play with the images without significantly degrading the quality. So, another tip. This filter setup, I'll be able to save it. So I'm going to go into my little personal FX folder. It's easy to create one. Just right-click, and I'm going to select my two filters in the information palette. And I'm going to drag it here, and I'll be able to call it Desqueeze. So we'll set it to 1.6. And there you go. And so, this Desqueeze 1.6, well, I'll be able to apply it to all the other images that need de-anamorphosis. So the mistake I made here is that, in fact, I shouldn't have used the zoom. So I'm going to change it here. I should revert to the default settings, which means that Desqueeze 1.6, and I'm going to delete this one. So this way, we always have the option to zoom in on the image as much as we want. And so, I'll also be able to apply this filter to other images that were filmed with the same type of lens. These are drone images. Let's see. This time it's classic 8K 16:9. Okay, I'm going to select my images. There. Done. So we have that in just a few clicks. You have the option to de-anamorphose while retaining the flexibility of the presentation tool for cropping your images. Now, we were in a 16:9 format. If, for example, I want to switch to a 240 format, as a reminder, this is always possible in EDIUS. We go into the project settings, we can change them while we're working. I'm going to go and modify the current settings. And here, for the image size, instead of using 1080, here. So I'm going to customize it. So we'll keep 1080, and we'll widen the image. So it's the same. We're at 240, so it's easy. I'm widening it. So I start from 1080, and I multiply by 244. So we arrive at 2592. So here, I'm going to put 2592. And above all, don't forget to change the display aspect ratio to 1 pixel height width. Otherwise, you'll get a 2592 by 1080 resolution. But it will force a 16:9 aspect ratio. So the pixels will no longer be square. And there you have it. This time, my image is 221, and I can use the presentation tool crop my image as I like. There you go. That's all for today. If you're interested in this type of video, feel free to ask. I might be able to show you how to convert footage to OGG, whether from G, Sony, or other, under development. One more thing. If you're interested in sharing custom EDIUS filters, I can find a way to share them with you, either in the video comments or on a small server. See you soon, and happy editing to everyone. Goodbye.